All right, everybody, welcome back. Danger Close Adventures. We out here. Today's topic, what was it again?
Obscure games.
Obscure games I used to play way back in the day that I used to play. Tug Diesel back there used to play back in the day that like was our favorite thing to ever play, but of course they're obscure. I don't know. Like maybe you guys know what they are, maybe you don't, but we're about to teach you something. First up to shoot. My friend, I have a friend I used to play this game with because it's actually like a co-op game, or you can play a single player. It was fun. Shrek 2. If anybody knows that game existed, I used to play that on the GameCube. So a lot of these games I played on the GameCube.
It just came out on the GameCube, or
No, oh, man, I bought. I didn't buy. We got it. I got it as a gift. Um, I don't remember. I don't remember how we got the game. I don't know if it was a gift or if it was just something I picked up, or if somebody else had it. I think they gave it to us because they didn't. They didn't really play it. But I don't know. My friend and I we came across the game called Shrek 2. It was like right when the movie came out. Um, and that game brought so much fun. And I think my favorite character in that game was Puss in Boots.
really?
Puss in Boots is the best character in Shrek 2.
Why?
Because he did. Everybody had like a combo. Like everybody had like a special like move set they had, and they have like all these specials, and so like Shrek was over like obviously had like wrestling style moves, so he like do grabs and like he did this like fart attack stuff he did, or he do like a choke slam thing he did, and then Donkey, Donkey had like the donkey kick, so he like turn around and do like the big donkey kick, and oh he did these spin attack like combos and stuff like that. It was really cool, and then they had what's his name, the cookie, the gingerbread man,
Yeah.
gingerbread man had like he had a cane, remember, because he had his leg broken,
Oh,
and they
yeah,
got sewn
yeah.
back on with like the glaze with
So he
the
used the
icing,
cane as,
so he
like-
used the cane like as a weapon. Like so he had like cane like spin cane combos and stuff
Not
like
the
that.
gumdrop button.
Yeah, so everybody had like a special like attack, special like move set combos. They were really cool. So like it was like all the characters in Shrek too. So like if you think of there and then what was it Pinocchio and all that stuff was in there. That was really fun. Who else? You got to play as Red Riding Hood. Red Riding Hood was in the game like the second half of the game. She was in it. She was like OP as shit though. Like Red Riding Hood had a lot of really strong attacks. What I really liked about the game was you always had four people, no matter what. So there's always four people that you played with. And the cool thing is you could switch between like picking each one. So like if I wanted to play a Shrek, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna play Shrek. And I had like Donkey, I had Gingerbread Man, and I had like some random other person depending on how like what
So
the
like
story
middle
wanted.
of the fight, you could just like.
So like middle of the fight, you just switch. Like
Okay.
you press like the bumpers and it switch between each character. So and then what the cool thing is, the game also had puzzles in it. So like you would fight this area, and then there'd be a puzzle, and like you would have to like get Shrek to stand on the platform, and then I would
Because he's
switch to
fat.
Donkey. Yeah, and I switched to Donkey, and he'd stand on the platform, and I switched to Gingerbread Man, and then he had to get on the platform that moved. Right, and as soon as both of them went up, he'd go up this elevator thing, and then like sometimes you need a Gingerbread Man to get into small spaces, and some spaces were meant for like it was meant for Shrek to like smash through because he had like these smash combos, and even some of the puzzles had stuff for Donkey. So like Donkey had to kick a tree over using his donkey kick to bring it down so you guys can cross a bridge. It was really cool.
Didn't you say there was like a tournament for Shrek?
There was
The
like a
Slam
Shrek
Fest
fight.
or
There was like a
something?
Shrek fight tournament. That's a different game, I think.
It's like Shrek Slam.
It was like
Fest or something
Shrek
like that?
Slam Fest or something, but this one was just Shrek 2. It was like just a story.
Oh, okay.
But this one was really fun though. What was it? One of my favorite parts of the game was halfway through. It was when you first run into Puss in Boots. This is like you need to get Puss in Boots as a character to fight with you. Like in the movie, like he's in the woods, and Puss in Boots attacks you. Well, they did it kind of like what's that game? Like you had to press the buttons to the rhythm.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
So like it was like A B A B, and there's like a music, and you had to hit it on the beat. So that was like the fight. Was he had to do like a beat fight thing, like pressing all the different buttons, and that's how you got Puss in Boots as one of your characters you fought with. And then he was the best one because he had the sword, the rapier sword. So you could do all these cool attacks with them, and you could do like a little cat scratch. So his ultimate was like he just like scratch everything. It was cool. It was really cool. I really liked that game. But it takes you through the whole story, like the entire story from start to finish was each like level. So like you went through all these different parts of the map, and there's puzzles, and you fought like enemies based off of it. It was really cool. I think my next favorite part was when I had to go. You went into the what was that? The fairy godmother's factory.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You go into the factory to get the potion. So like you're fighting through the factory. So that the first half of it is like you got to sneak through because remember they snuck through in the movie. And then when you get the potion, you had to do this big puzzle to get to the top, and you need to put some boots to like get up there and grab the potion. And then like you get caught, so you have to fight your way out of the factory. That was like probably my second favorite part of it. Just like in that part of the movie, they're doing it, so it's really cool. But they had like all those dudes like throwing magic potions and stuff. And then you had to fight Fairy Godmother at the end. That was one of the hardest fights. The boss fights are actually like really good. It's like one of them, like the Fairy Godmother's like throwing stuff at you. So like she's above the conveyor belt, and there's conveyor belts throwing boxes. So you had to avoid all the boxes while she's doing magic attacks at you. And then what you had to do is like when one of the boxes came down, you had to use Donkey to kind of slam the box back in her face and like use projectiles to fight Fairy Godmother. So that was really cool.
What other games do you think that were really obscure?
Well, back then, this is before CD Projekt Red was really really well known to everybody, and they made The Witcher 3, and they also made. Oh, I can't.
So you're talking everything before Witcher 3. Like
this is before Witcher 3. This is before
1,
CD Projekt Red became like a big thing. Like
before everybody knew about it.
Nobody really knew about it. It was obscure. It was called The Witcher 2, Assassins of Kings. It was Assassin of Kings, and I didn't know anybody that ever played it. I put it on the 360. So the 360, it was only on the 360 and it was only on PC because it's like a Microsoft. They had like a deal with Microsoft. So it was never found anywhere else. It was like towards the end of like the 360's lifespan. So not many people really paid attention to it because the PlayStation 4 was about to come out. It just kind of died out. I don't know. It was really obscure. It was like something. But I picked that game up and it was fun. My favorite part, I really liked how there's two different the game branched off into two different main branches. So you started the first like bit of the story. You used to fight for this king, like you're kind of like a mercenary. You're a witcher, so everybody knows like from Witcher 3, you're a witcher. Geralt of Rivia, and he's like the best like swordsman in the land. Well, anyway, like in the second game, you're tasked with like protecting this king. So the witchers would be like kind of like mercenaries. The kings would hire them, and they would fight for their kingdom. And then if you wanted to, you could switch alliances whenever you wanted to. It was like the political part of the game I didn't really care about. But that's pretty much what it started with. And anyway, like the king that you were working for gets assassinated by somebody else. It's another witcher. But you don't know that. Everybody's just trying to figure out who's the guy that keeps assassinating all these kings. Hence the title of the game. And so you start off like in the war and everything, and you get out of it. And anyway, so like the first half is like you got to kill this monster, and then somebody comes up with like, hey, you need to find this assassin who's been like killing all these kings and committing regicide, and you're tasked with like killing him before he gets to the king that you're supposed to protect. So you go off. So anyway, the game does this branching off. So it's like, do you want to side with the elves? There's like these wood elves nobody really likes, and then or do you side with like the main militia guys? So you kind of had to choose which side of the story you wanted to play.
What side did you choose?
I think I started off fighting with the militia dudes.
So you done both?
I did both.
Oh, okay.
So you pretty much had to play the game twice to get the whole story.
What's the difference between
so like if you go with the militia dudes, they're like, all right, we'll help you out, like find this guy if you help us like defend this part of the city.
Yeah.
So like I went off and did this big war, defended a part of the city, and then they're like, all right, so here's like the next clue. And so I did that, and then eventually, and then what I like about the branching is that branches off into two other sections too. It's like it was a choice, so you would make a choice, like, hey, either you're gonna kill the dragon or you save the dragon's life.
Oh,
It just depended like which one you wanted to do.
Almost
So,
like a butterfly effect.
Yeah, it was like a
but
butterfly
not
effect
as-
game. It wasn't
yeah.
like it wasn't that crazy. The ending kind of there was 2 different endings though, depending on how you did your choices.
Yeah,
And then the second playthrough, I went with the wood elves, and then I helped the wood elves out. It was like more of a stealthy part of it. The other one was like straight up, you're just brawling it out. I gained a lot of XP on that one. The other one doesn't give you as much, but there's a lot more stuff to do.
It was more fun.
It was more fun. It was just a lot of fun. And then so you like, of course, the Witcher, you fought like monsters and people, and then you had 2 different swords. So that's what I liked about it. Is like you had like a sword that was made out of silver to fight like monsters, and a sword made out of steel that you fought like humans with. But yeah, everybody knew about Witcher 3, but back then nobody knew what Witcher 2 was. Nobody even mentioned it.
It
Def
was
Jam Fight
PlayStation
for
2,
New York,
right?
man. That was a PlayStation 2 game.
Plays like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
like,
all the
these
different
rappers.
hip hop artists, like all the rappers and stuff, and they all had different like move styles. It's like one was more like kung fu style, one was like it was just straight up streets, and you just did
Yeah,
one
I
did
think it
like
was
grapples and one did grapples and like throws and stuff, and the other one was just straight up just punching, and one did just kicks.
Dude, that was a
Who was
badass
it?
game, bro.
50 Cent was
Yeah.
he in it? Like his
Yeah.
was based off of just kicks, like he just kicked, so it was really cool. That was fun. That was like one of those fighting games I really got into. That not many people like really knew
It
about.
had Redman, Method Man.
Yeah, it had all those
big
dudes.
names.
All the big names.
Karma Electro was in it.
They had like what special DLC characters? I can't remember if they were just in it or not.
No, I think they were just in it.
Okay, it was really
I
cool.
think the graphics are what got me the most because they were like, it looked like everybody was shorter but more built. and
Yeah, they're
buff.
like they're just these big buff short dudes. It was awesome.
That was a very obscure game because I don't think anybody I knew about that.
Yeah, not a lot of people knew about it. Not a lot of people talked about that game.
So your favorite obscure game probably of all time that I know you've been wanting to talk about.
I've been wanting to talk about this one because this is
And
my
go ahead
favorite.
and tell them what it is.
My favorite game, like still probably ever. Like this is like classic for me. I go back and play it every once in a while if I can find like a working GameCube or like I have like the Wii will work it. But my favorite game ever was Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. And there's a series. There's 4 of these things. But the
Really?
first 2 are the best ones. The third one is kind of stupid, and the fourth one is just dumb. They made it like really dumb and
What was it
childish. So you fight. Your name is Ty, and then so it's a Tasmanian tiger. So anyway, all the Tasmanian tiger, you and your family are like fighting this war against the emus.
Against emus?
'Cause, we talked about emus are vicious animals.
I mean, yeah, they literally won a war.
They won a war against
And
Australia, like
Australia-
humans. They beat them in a war.
The Australian Army literally
Yeah.
lost the war back in like what?
Oh, it was in
1900s,
the
something like that?
1930s or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so literally the Australian Army fought emus
And
with
lost.
machine guns and like advanced weaponry and lost against emus. It's like a family of tigers were fighting a family of emus, and then there was like the big bad emu. His name was Boss Cass. He's the big boss, Boss Cass. And so Boss Cass like opens up this portal and sucks all your family into it, and you guys all get lost in time, and you're the only one left. So it's you and like you team up with this bird. I can't remember if it's like a parrot or something, and then there's like you have like the wallabies and all the other Australian animals are pretty much helping you out. Nobody likes the emus; they're terrible, and Boss Cass is like the big bad. So they're all like, Ty, everybody in your family has been lost in this portal. If you can collect all these stones, there's like 4 or 5 stones to collect. If you collect these talisman, they're called talisman. If you collect these talisman, you can open up the portal, bring your family back, and beat Boss Cass once and for all. That's pretty much like the story.
Like they gave you an ultimatum.
Yeah, they
like,
gave you
You gotta find these.
If
or
you
your
don't
family's
find
done
them, or your
forever.
family's dead forever, dude. Like you're done, and Boss Cass takes over, and he becomes like the leader. He becomes like he takes over all of Australia. But it's cool because Ty fought with boomerangs, and there was different types of boomerangs. So they had like elemental boomerangs that you can control in mid-flight, boomerangs that did like you can use like this X-ray vision infrared boomerang. There's all this different stuff. So I think it was like you collect golden cogs to upgrade your boomerangs. Then you collected like opals, so you can like once you get like 100 of them, you get another cog so you can upgrade your boomerangs. And they came out with a second one. So there's like a whole series of these games. So they came out with the second one was like more open world. This one was kind of like you were kind of stuck in one place. You did a level, you came back out. You did a level, you came back. But this one was like open world, out back, and so it was still like the same thing where you had to go into these different worlds. But like it was
like Spyro.
Yeah, the map was so big. Yeah, that you had like cars, and then so in the second game. In the first one, you know how you beat boss cast and you get your family back. The portal opens up and all of them show up. So this one, like your family's kind of there, and like you have a brother that helps you. Like you can buy like extra boomerangs off of him. So he had like a boomerang that like legitly like exploded. They had like different ones, and then one of the other Tasmanian tigers was your girlfriend. Kind of like how Crash Bandicoot was. He had like a girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
That always at the end of the level she'd come up and like kiss you and hug you and every time.
Oh,
the tie was amazing. Shrek 2, awesome. Yeah, The Witcher 2 was really weird. Was that it?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Those are the most obscure games I can think of that I had the most fun ever playing. Let me know what you guys have as like your favorite obscure games. But those are mine. I know there's a lot of them out there that a lot of people remember back then when they used to play when they were younger. So, yeah, that's it. Like, I love those games, man. Oh, and remember, like, comment, and subscribe. And remember to hit that bell icon to become part of the notification squad. Yeah, I nailed it. I usually do something stupid at the end of it.